Good morning, students. Today we are going to start the lesson Middle East, as we have already finished the protest movement lesson. So today we are going to start the lesson with the introduction that what happened in Palestine. As the conflict in Palestine after First World War started, Palestine was actually the original homeland of the Jews. One Egyptian emperor banished them from Palestine. One Egyptian emperor had thrown away, banished them from Palestine. Thus they became scattered. They started to move all over the world. During the First World War, Britain wanted to drive away the Turks from Arabia. Thus the Turks and the Arabs became enemy due to the activities of British agents. The British agents divided these two communities within themselves, the Turks and the Arabs. Hence the scattered Jews under Dr. Weizmann started Zionist movement, the Jews movement for their own homeland at Palestine. And thus during the First World War, the Jews held the British government with huge amount of money. In response, they required the support to live in Palestine. So this is the introduction part. Now let us go into detail of the lesson, that what actually happened in Palestine. The post-war conflict in Palestine after First World War till the formation of the State of Israel started. During this time, Arabia, which was a land of the ancient civilization survived there in Arab. In biblical times, Palestine was the homeland of the Jew people. Palestine is a part of Arab, and the Jews were known as the Philistines. It is claimed that one Egyptian emperor or pharaoh, because Egyptian emperors were known as pharaoh, banished the Jewish people from Palestine due to any war, any type of problem which has been created in this time. This is known as in the Bible. The case is also mentioned in Bible because from the ancient time, Arabia was the homeland of many, as the great Exodus. So after that, the Jews lost their own homeland and where they were scattered all over the world. But it should be remembered that a good section of Jews continued to live in Palestine as minority people. They still continued. Many migrated in fear, but there was some group which still continued to live there. Meanwhile, the Arabs rose as a conquering race, embracing Islam under their prophet and caliphs. They conquered and migrated to different parts of Arab. They made Palestine a part of Arab homeland. They were the majority in the country and considered Palestine as a part of Arabia. Before the First World War, the Sultan of Turkey was the Lord of Arabia. The Sultan's governors or pashas ruled the Arabs, including Palestine. The geographical situation of Palestine was very important. A part of Palestine is situated on the Suez Canal, the most important war route and water route between Europe and Africa. Another part is situated on the Mediterranean Sea. The position of Palestine provides partial control on this strategic sea route. The discovery of oil fields in Palestine and Arabia made the position of this country tempting to European colonial powers. The Arabs were proud of their own Islamic religion and culture. Though lived under Turkish rule of the Sultan, they had nothing but hatred for Turks. The Grand Sharif King Hussein of Mecca was a symbol of unity of every quarreling Arabian tribe, who were very much clannish. He held his office in hereditary capacity. Thus, Hussein McMahon letter, now we'll continue, that what were the communication between Hussein and McMahon letter. So let us start with Hussein McMahon letter. With the outbreak of the First World War, the British government decided to drive away the Turks from Arabia and the Middle East. As the Sultan was an ally of Khazar's Germany, the British agents contacted Grand Sharif King Hussein of Mecca to give a call to the faithful Muslims to wage a jihad, a war against the Turks. Jihad means war. So British agents like Colonial Lawrence, known as Lawrence of Arabia, Major Hogarth, etc., sowed the seeds of deep discord. Discord means distance between the Arabs and the Turks, a friction, a war, a quarrel. Though they belong to the same faith, but the secret correspondences were the exchange between King Hussein and General McMahon, the then High Commissioner of Egypt. There, correspondences. Very important historical documents are known as Hussein McMahon letter, which was a very important negotiations done in this letter. The British government promised King Hussein independent Arabia from the end of war. Then King Hussein would automatically succeed as the king of Mecca and a descendant of the Prophet. The British encouraged the Arabs to revolt against the Ottoman Empire, which had become a German ally in the First World War. The letters declared that the Arabs would declare revolt in alliance with United Kingdom. In return, the United Kingdom would recognize Arab independence. The Hussein McMahon letters conspicuously did not mention the question of Palestine. In the subsequent years, in a letter McMahon declared, I feel it my duty to state, and I do so definitely and emphatically, that it was not intended by me in giving this pledge to King Hussein to include Palestine in the area in which Arab independence was promised. Pan-Arab nationalism thus swept Pan-Arab. Within the Arab only, the Arab and the Turks divided. Thus the Pan-Arab nationalism swept the Arab people. But Hussein failed to get what he and his people desired. So what happened? In British encouraged the Arabs to revolt against the Ottoman Empire within Arab, which had become a German ally in First World War. The letters declared that the Arabs would declare revolt in alliance with United Kingdom. In return, UK would recognize Arab independence there. And Hussein McMahon letters conspiracy did not mention the question of Palestine there. Palestine part was not there, but Arab independence was declared there. There are many references to the letter McMahon. It is written there from McMahon to Hussein, King Hussein. Many references have been made in Palestine, a Royal Commission report, and in the course of recent debates in both Houses of Parliament to McMahon pledge, especially to that portion of the pledge which concerns Palestine and of which one interpretation has been claimed by the Jews and another by the Arabs. Interpretation means the land area which was demarcated by Jews and by the Arabs. Arab wanted to move away the Jews, they wanted full Arab part, no Palestine part should be mentioned there, but Palestine, the Jewish people wanted Palestine as their homeland. This was the demarcation. So it has been suggested to me that it continued silence on the part of the giver of that pledge may itself be misunderstood. I feel therefore called upon to make some statement on the subject, but I will confine myself in doing so to the point now at the issue, that is whether that portion of Syria now known as Palestine was or was not intended to be included in the territories in which independence of the Arab was guaranteed in my pledge, and in my pledge it should be continued. I feel it my duty to state, and I do so definitely and emphatically, that it was not intended by me giving this pledge to King Hussein to include Palestine in the area in which Arab independence was promised. I also had every reason to believe at the time that the fact Palestine was not included in my pledge and was well understood by King Hussein. Thus, during this time, the World Zionist movement entered. The Sykes-Picot Agreement was called the Asia Minor Agreement. It was secret convention was made during the First World War between Great Britain and France with partial assent of Tsarist Russia for the division of Ottoman Empire. This was the agreement, secret agreement for division of Arab. Now, what was the World Zionist movement? Let us enter into. The Jewish people who were scattered all over the world for many centuries had a great spirit of nationalism. Their living land was separate, but each Jewish family taught its own children Hebrew language, their original language, and they worshipped their God Jehovah. Jewish priests called rabbis united the Jewish families through religious ceremonies and their special funeral rites. As the Jews were persecuted by the Christians all over Europe, they were determined to protect their nationalism and their lost land at Palestine. One German professor, Dr. Weizmann, started World Zionist movement and raised the demand for the restoration of Palestine to the Jewish people. So, with the outbreak of the First World War, what happened? The British government faced severe economic crisis and approached the Jewish bankers for loan and subsidy. Under this pressure situation of the Jewish Congress in return to the loan, Lord Balfour made a public declaration in Parliament that His Majesty's government views with favor establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people and will use their best endeavor to facilitate the object. Thus, this Balfour Declaration in 1917 was highly contradictory to Hussein McMahon letter. So this Balfour Declaration of 1917 was highly contradictory to Hussein McMahon letter. By this former homeland of Jews in Palestine was promised, but this promise did not mention over the whole Palestine or part of it. Now the Jews adamantly demanded the whole of Palestine, but previously Arabia was promised to King Hussein. In their understanding, Palestine was a part of Arabia, where the Jews were the trespassers. This contradictory diplomacy of the British was the root of Palestine problem. The problem became most formidable as the Arabs treated the Jews, the intruders in Palestine. The Jews claimed Palestine as their original home land from ancient times. Culturally, the westernized Jews were more advanced than the Arabs. The Jews were better between Arabs and Jews aggravated the Palestine problem thus. And thus after First World War, what happened? Palestine became a British mandate area and administration was in the British hands only. So Zionists then encouraged the Jews of different parts now, to join in this movement of different parts of Europe to immigrate to Palestine, to enter into Palestine. Hitler's persecution on Jews encouraged them to move to Palestine. Because from Germany also Hitler disturbed the Jewish people to move away. Many Jews were killed also in the First World War time. The European countries were sympathetic to Jewish immigrants to Palestine. The Arabs felt endangered, but their protests did not receive any international attention. When the question of conflict pledge was raised in the League, British cleverly pointed out that there was really no duplicity and conflict. If they promised Arabia to Hussein, certainly Palestine was not included in the pledge. Thus, Palestine was not mentioned in Hussein McMahon letters. If the homeland was assured to the Jews, Palestine was not mentioned in Hussein McMahon letters. And if homeland for assured for Jews, it was their homeland in Palestine only, which meant a part, not whole of Palestine. Thus the British government washed its hands. The unrestrained entry of the Jews in Palestine and their purchase of lands from the poor Arabs became a problem to the Arab leaders. They apprehended Thus, they apprehended that the British administration encouraged Jewish colonization at Palestine. Occasional riots also broke out between the two communities. After 1929, the British government began to seek ways and means to solve the Palestine problem. Meanwhile, a number of people died in the riot. British then appointed the King Crane Commission in 1919 and the Haycraft Commission in 1929. Thus, Britain now restrained free immigration of the Jews into Palestine. But a fresh riot in 1933 showed that Britain had failed to take effective steps so far. In 1936, a royal commission under Peel was appointed in Palestine. This commission reported that Palestine should be partitioned into two small Jewish states. The holy places were to be kept under British mandate and the rest was to be annexed to Jordan. Thus, this partition proposal was not rightly rejected by Arab leaders and partly by the Jews. Thus, when the conflicting pledge was raised in the League, British cleverly pointed out that there was really no duplicity and conflict. If they promised Arabia to Hussein, certainly Palestine was not included in the pledge. Palestine was not mentioned also in Hussein McMahon letter, as we have already read. So if the homeland was assured to the Jews, it was their homeland in Palestine, which mean a part, not a whole. Palestine also a small part, not a whole. Thus British government washed its hand from this quarrel situation. From this confused situation, quarrel just washed their hand because their eyes was only on the oil fields of Arab in the Middle East. So they wanted to make Arabs also satisfied and happy for their entry there. The unrestrained entry of the Jews in Palestine and the purchase of lands from the poor Arabs became a problem to the Arab leaders. They apprehended that the British administration encouraged Jewish colonization in Palestine. Occasional riots also broke out between the two communities. Thus, after 1929, the British government began to seek ways and means to solve the communities, and thus, meanwhile, a number of people died in the riot. Britain then appointed the King Crane Commission in 1919 and the Haycraft Commission in 1929. Britain now restrained free immigration of the Jews into Palestine, but a fresh riot in 1933 showed that the Britain had failed to take effective steps so far, and thus in 1936 Royal Commission under Peel was appointed in Palestine. This commission reported that Palestine should be partitioned into two small Jewish states, and this partition proposal was outrightly rejected by the Arab leaders and partly by the Jews. Thus, the Arabs started the fresh riots, and the King Hussein then declared that till whole of the Palestine was not assigned to the Arabs, the bloodshed will continue, and means war will continue. Meanwhile, the Second World War broke out and Britain tightly restrained the Jewish immigration during the war. That means the Jewish going out and entering into the Arab homeland was totally prohibited during the time in the Second World War. So till this much we studied today. Next class we will continue the other parts of the lesson. Okay, so till this much you studied today for the detail to understand of the lesson. Thank you.